Hey guys, let's jump right in. So let me show you the test to automate logging into Salesforce. Let's run this. Let's give that a second to pop up. All right, so this logs into my Scratch org. So, all right, now that we see that that is working, do you guys want to learn how to log in using the API, like using connected apps, hitting the endpoints, creating resources, getting the get endpoints, running SQL queries in the background, like anything to augment your test. If you want to learn how to do that, I have a whole section on connected apps inside of the school community. So, but let's get into Salesforce. So this article makes it seem like, now I'm not picking on this article, but I thought it'd be fun to show it. At the time, this article, um, it really seems like automating Salesforce is really easy. Like if we just kind of just skim through, it's like, oh, just use Selenium IDE and then run the IDE, do your recording, and then choose your easy selectors, your login name and password, like just simple IDs. Now, once you're inside of Salesforce, it's not that straightforward, especially if it's a custom app. Now, if it's out of the box, you might be able to use a lot of the title elements. But what I'm trying to say is it's not that simple because some Salesforce orgs can actually crash this IDE because there's just so many objects it's trying to load. It crashes the IDE. So it's it's easy to do, but I don't want you guys to think it's too easy because it's not. So I just wanted to say that, but I'm going to show you how to build your login page test and actually other tests for Salesforce. I'm really excited to get to Salesforce. So, but okay, so let's jump in. Okay, so first thing you want to do is find our username and password fields. Zoom in a bit. Okay, and let's inspect. So this is very neat. It has a very simple ID of username, perfect. Very simple ID of password. Very simple ID for the login, which is just login. This is as easy as it gets. You guys can see that down here. There we go. Okay, so if we look at this article, it does make the same references. So Salesforce hasn't changed it in over a year, about a year. Okay, so now we would just have to translate this into our page class. So we just create a page class. So you want to create your page class. So we have our ID for username, password, and login. Now Salesforce is a little different in this series. Salesforce actually is going to get its own, here let me close this up. It's going to get its own section for Salesforce. So we have our login page. This is our actual login page. And then we have our general page. So the reason why the general page, this is where the base page comes into play. It's similar to the base page here, because what this is going to do is all of our Salesforce pages are going to extend from this class, meaning that all children classes will have access to the methods and the public. So any access modifier that's public, the child classes will have access to it. So what do I mean by child classes? For example, this login page, this is a child class, meaning that it extends. In C Sharp, this is the syntax for extends. In Java, you actually write the word like extends like that. So, but okay. So this class now has access to all of the objects that are publicly accessible on the Salesforce general page. So it could access things like this weight, the driver, the actions. It cannot access these because the access modifier is private. And it's able to access this navigation, and it's able to access this public boolean. So if we go to our test, Well, first, once you create an instance of the object, so this Salesforce login page, we're going to create a new instance of this object. But this object extends from its parent class. So now we have access to the methods and the objects that are public on this class. So like here, I'm able to access this login is login successful method when really it's on the Salesforce general page and it's not in the actual Salesforce login page. So there's no method in the Salesforce login page. So, you know, that this deserves its own topic, but we cover that in the school community. I'll probably make something as well here, just because it deserves its own lesson. Okay. Okay, so that's really all I want to show for this video. Guys, make sure that you're changing your theme. Try not to get too used to the theme, because I know, you know, the keywords are in different colors, and try not to memorize what the colors of the words mean. Like, just, you got to understand like what they are. All right. So, and we don't want any thread.sleeps. This is just for us, you know, running the test locally. But once you push this up into the repo, you want to make sure that your thread.sleep is gone and it uses some other way to assert that the login is successful. All right. Okay, guys, excited. See you in the next one.